So when I started this channel, one of the aims of the channel was to say things to you guys that I would love to say to either my younger self or my little sisters. As women, something that we deal with on a regular basis is the idea of, not even the idea, the existence of our periods. So I found a video the other day on TikTok from another fellow Jamaican creator, not even creator, she's been in the media for a long time, and I wanted to share it with you because I have a few thoughts and I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well.
So I was woken up very early this morning by a text from a friend of mine, and she sent me a video of a gentleman who had lots of passion in his voice, and he started by asking a question and then he made some accusations. And basically in this video he wanted to know why when women on them period them have the pad them in the garbage can in the bathroom, and him think say that tells you something about the woman. The woman have her period and the man go in the bathroom and see pad in the garbage. That tells you something about the woman, and in his opinion, that is fully nasty and all the things. And you know, in his rant, he gave the impression that if the man live with you and him in the house and him have to go into the bathroom and experience these things, how that says something about the woman and he has a problem with it. No, I expect men to have these kind of opinions because we live in the same society, and in our society, periods is supposed to be scornful. The word unclean is still thrown around when we talk about periods. But I need to just, and you know, the more mature me, usually when I just war and cuss and fuss and fight and give it to him bigly. But I started to look in the comments and noticed that there were a whole heap of women in there agreeing with him. Some of them suggesting a lot of things akin to woman must burn the pads, man not supposed to come in the pads and see that in a woman bathroom, all the things that basically agree with him that genuinely women are not supposed to have soiled pads in their own personal bathroom that they use for the man to have to experience it. On this we disagree. Now let me just put something in perspective right away, because sir, first of all, when you go in the bathroom and see a few pads in the bin, it doesn't mean that it has been there for days. It could mean that she just used a few pads. Newsflash, we don't just use one pad a day. So it's very, very easy to use 5, 6, 7 pads in one day. Back in the day when I used to flow heavy, I've done that effortlessly. The second thing is, sir, if you live there and you go in the bathroom and you notice that the bin needs to be emptied, rather than saying or using it to determine her character, empty the damn bin. The next thing is, listen, we clean up after men all the time. As a matter of fact, it's expected that a woman has to clean up after a man, because for some reason men don't know how to do anything for themselves, and we live in a society that allows them to act like they are children. But the bottom line is, period is not offensive, and if you're offended by period, that's a you problem. If you are going around hunting and looking into garbage bin and noticing that there are period products in the garbage bin, that's also a you problem. Do you search for baby diapers when baby do the diaper and they put baby diapers in garbage bin? Do you search for when people have pussy foot and them use a piece of tissue and squeeze out the pus out of them foot and put in the garbage bin? Do you search for other things in the garbage bin, or is it just the period that you have a problem with? We need to get out of this space where we're still looking at periods as if it's the worst possible thing that comes out of our body. And ironically, it's the very thing that is dependent, that we need to reproduce. It's the very thing that we come from when it comes to us existing. If periods end today, the human race would also cease to exist in a matter of years. So let us just say what we need to say, and what we really mean is we have a problem with period, and if you have a problem with period, sir, go and solve it. But if you go into a woman's bathroom and buck up on period, it's fair bathroom. Period is supposed to be there because as a woman, she experiences period, and if you find that offensive, perhaps you should not be in intimate spaces where women occupy, because period is a part of a woman's experience, and if you are with such woman, it's going to be a part of your experience too. So sir, rather than searching the contents of a garbage can and trying to ascertain why is it that she hasn't emptied it, empty the damn garbage and get on with your day. I hope you have a good day. I certainly will. Bye bye now.
I love Shelly and Dawn. I have been listening to her since before I ever needed to listen to her. I was a child listening to that radio and those talks. Shouldn't have been listening to them, but you know what? Earphones. I will say that this video actually is causing me to reflect on how I think about things. Because while I do agree with a lot of what was said, there are certain points that we would disagree on, and that's okay. I think that we live in a world that really is forcing shame upon us for our natural bodily functions, and I don't believe that we should make ourselves small during that time of the month because it is that time of the month. I don't think that at any point that we should be tucked away because we're on our periods. I don't deal with that in my reality. I've never had to deal with that. But I understand that this is the reality for many women. And I didn't see the video that she was reacting to. Don't need to see it. I think she covered the bases pretty well. Men have really been allowed to have a childish approach when it comes to menstruation. I think that men who have that mindset, I don't think that they should be in relationships with women. This is something that will affect the woman in your life for at least a quarter of her adult life. To be scorned by the person who is supposed to be there with and for you in your life partner, while going through that, it is a difficult experience for many women. Side note, has anybody else after having a child noticed that the periods are different? I used to have terrible cramps. My periods now, chef's kiss. Let me know if anybody else has experienced that. But to be shamed by the person who is supposed to be there with you cannot be a good feeling. I think many women have been conditioned to believe that that is how they should be treated while they're on their period. It's natural, and if the person that you have in your life is making you feel less in that time, but the rest of the time they want to be all over and in and on you, that's not the right person. That person needs to take a minute and do a little bit more maturing. And it's so sad too because, like she said, the human race is dependent on this function of our body. It affects us in so many ways, not just physically, it affects us mentally as well. So imagine us having to deal with that. And then on top of it, having to deal with the scorn of people around us. What I will say is that where I think we disagree is her take on having soiled pads just there in the bin. I don't recall ever going to anybody's house and noticing pads in a bin. I've never been looking for pads in a bin in someone else's house. Unfortunately, I sometimes take on the mindset that people are like me. Not to say that I'm perfect, not at all to say that I'm perfect, but I say that because in my home, in my bathroom, there are two bins. There's a bin that we use to like dispose of like if we have any loose tissue, like if we take the wrapper off the soap and you know those little things. That goes in that bin. And then I have a separate bin for my intimate stuff. In a lot of homes, the bathroom, it's a commonly shared space. So I'm not expecting that in a space that is a known shared space, certain things would be open for everybody to see. On the topic of like baby pampers and tissue with pus, I feel the same way about those. I wouldn't leave them out. Tissue with bodily fluids coming out, I flush that. I don't leave that in a bin. If the thought ever came across to leave it in a bin, I would more than likely throw it in the concealed intimate bin. If it's a space that a woman uses on her own, she has every right to do whatever she wants. But we have to be considerate of the people that are around us. I think it's common consideration. I wouldn't want to go into a bathroom and to see somebody's soiled pads. I wouldn't want someone to go into a bathroom and see my soiled pads. I'm not going to act like I'm the cleanest girl in the world. I just never thought that would be. And that's why I said it's making me wonder if I do harbor shame for my period. Mind you, I have no intentions of not doing what I do right now. A little shame sometimes is a good thing. And then where do we draw the line between being ashamed and being discreet? My husband is not ashamed to assist me when I need assistance. I understand who my husband is. So I won't put him, even though I know he wouldn't be offended, but I don't want to put him in a position to have to do certain things because I want to be considerate. And I think that men should try to understand the process a little bit, and maybe that will take a little of the uncomfortability from their minds. But at the same time, for me, and this is strictly for my household, I'm not going to leave it out there. Also, the bins in your bathroom, are they not the bins with covers that are, it's not see-through. Even if it's a see-through bin, don't you have like garbage bags in it? It's totally closed off. Like there's no way to see what is in there. Yeah, so I think that being discreet and being ashamed are two different things. And a little discretion is fine. On the point of periods too, like we know that every girl always has a little tiny bag that they keep their little period and cleanliness essentials in. What do you put in your bag? This is mine. And this is not only like for periods, but just for feminine matters overall. What's in yours? In mine, I have wipes. I have pads of various sizes. Sometimes I have a tampon in here. I have perfume. I also have witch hazel. Oh, this is lotion, but it's done. It should be lotion. I also have witch hazel in here. Have you guys been on 304 TikTok? If you've been on 304 TikTok, you know. You don't have to be a 304 to take advice. Witch hazel, get you some. You better go up there and get you one of these. I have deodorant. I have a panty shield, change of underwear, tissue. Yeah, those are the things that the girlies keep on them at all times. What is in your bag? Do you think I'm missing anything from my bag? What is in your bag that's not in mine? I'll take a few suggestions.